Hi, this is Gary Harvey, CEO and founder of Result Certain Consulting. First of all, I want to welcome you and thank you for joining me here today for this webinar. I think you'll find it informative and hopefully very helpful. I will reveal on this webinar some vital information that can make a huge difference in your business. By the end of this webinar, I will have demonstrated that it's possible to estimate the value of ranking on page 1 of Google and more specifically demonstrate the difference in value between ranking on the different positions on page 1 of Google, position 1 through position 10. I think you'll find that those differences are quite startling. So, as I go through this presentation, I would ask that you keep in mind the following question. Can you afford not to rank on Google, and more specifically, on page 1 of Google? Now, beyond that, I'm going to ask you to think about the question of ranking near or at the top of page 1 on Google. Now, spoiler alert. Of course, we all know the answer to that question is no. Obviously, you can't afford not to be on page 1 of Google if you want traffic to your website. The higher your keywords rank on page 1, the more clicks your site will get, and that, of course, means more traffic. Now, I think you'll be astounded at the difference in clicks, traffic, and revenue between ranking in position 1 and position 10. Now, let's get started with a brief introduction. As I said, my name is Gary Harvey, and I'm the CEO and founder of Result Certain Consulting. We are a premier SEO service provider and internet marketing consultant agency that serves professional clients throughout the United States. Now, by professional clients, I'm talking about lawyers, doctors, insurance agents, CEOs, accountants, etc. We also do a lot of work with professionals in the trades. We're talking about auto repair, roofers, contractors, plumbers, etc. Now, our company utilizes a proven ranking system for ranking keywords on page 1 of Google, including at this very moment ranking over 20,000 top keywords, number 1 in Google on more than 1,000 websites across the United States using these methods. These keywords receive several 100,000 monthly searches that produce up to thousands of phone calls daily. And a percentage of those phone calls convert to sales and increased revenues and profits. Now, if that sounds appealing to you, you're in the right place at the right time. So be sure to tune out and shut off all distractions, including your mobile devices, social media, and the like. And it would be a good idea if you could have a pen and paper handy because I believe you may want to take some notes. Now get ready to see why your business needs to rank on page 1 of Google and why you really cannot afford not to. SEO has the biggest impact on lead generation, and I think that'll be clearly borne out by this graph. This represents business to business. And as you can see, 57% of the lead generation happens through SEO, or search engine optimization. 25% through PPC, or pay per click. And only 18% through social media. If we look at business to consumer, B2C, SEO has the biggest impact again on lead generation. 41% SEO, 34% for pay-per-click, 25% for social media. Now on Google, the daily searches in 2015 averaged more than 5.5 billion. More than 5.5 billion searches per day on Google in 2015. Now, of those searches and people who clicked on the search results, 91.5% of the clicks occur on page 1 of the search results. 91.5% on page 1. So if your website is not ranking on page 1, then you are fighting with all the other websites, page 2 and beyond, for 8.5% of the clicks. Because only 8.5% of the clicks happen on page 2 of the search results and beyond. As you can see here by the graph and the chart, page 1 has 91.5% of the clicks, page 2 4.8%, page 3 1.1%, page 4.4%, page 5 and beyond total 2.2%. Now, even more startling, 75.7% of the first page clicks are on the top 5 results in Google. Position 1, 32.5%. Position 2, 17.6%. Position 3, 11.4%. Position 4, 8.1%. And position 5, 6.1%. Now, what are the initial takeaways so far? SEO is the key driver of online lead generation. Ranking on page 1 of Google is imperative. And your SEO and ranking goal is a top 3 result. Why do you need to rank on page 1 of Google, and much preferably in the top 3 results? Because when you rank on page 1 of Google, you can generate more online traffic and visitors for your website, leads, and then qualified leads, sales, revenues, profits, things all businesses want. The higher your page 1 ranking, the bigger your potential to dominate your market and crush your competition. Your competition is, which means they, not you, are in the prime position to generate more leads if they are ranking on page 1 rather than you. When your competition's ranking on page 1 of Google and you're not, they are getting more online leads, traffic, website visitors, qualified leads, sales, revenues, and profits. Why? Why is all of this so important? And why do you need to rank on page 1 of Google? Because there's a cost of not ranking on page 1 of Google. A cost that can be calculated. Now, there's a very, very good chance that you do not even know there's a way to calculate the estimated value of any keyword in any position on page 1 of Google. And that's okay. But why don't you know? Wouldn't you want to know if you're investing or considering investing in SEO? Unfortunately, and rather sad, most SEO experts have no idea how to calculate the value of any keyword on page 1 of Google. And worse yet, they have no clue how to calculate the estimated value of a keyword. Many of the so-called SEO professionals or experts you've either retained, or maybe you're currently retaining, have talked to, received emails or marketing materials from, or maybe you heard a sales pitch from, have calculated the estimated value of the keywords they are attempting or intend to rank on page 1 of Google for you. How many have even mentioned the potential value of any of your keywords? Very, very few, if any at all. Don't you think it would be vitally important to know the potential value of a keyword you're trying to rank on page 1 of Google before trying to rank it or paying anyone to try to rank it for you? Why, of course it would. That being the case, then why do a vast majority of SEO consultants never calculate for you the estimated value of ranking any of your keywords on page 1 of Google's, or even mention it to you. A vast majority of SEO consultants have absolutely no clue how to calculate a keyword's value, and worse yet, these same SEO consultants very likely have absolutely no clue how to find the right resource to run or have someone run your keyword valuation for you. So the next time you talk to your current SEO consultant or any other consultant trying to sell you their SEO services, ask them what the potential value is for one or more of your keywords if it's ranked on page 1 of Google anywhere from position 1 to position 10. What do you think the response will be? Well, after a few ums and a clearing of the throat, you already know before they say anything that they do not know how to calculate the estimated keyword value, or worse, they have no idea what you're even talking about. And let's even assume that they did know, which is highly unlikely. Why did you have to bring up this key question in the first place? Don't you think that any SEO consultant worth their weight should already know how to do this and has already done this for you so they can tell you the potential value of any of your keywords? This puts you in position to make an informed decision whether it seems worthwhile to have SEO work performed on any specific keywords and what results you may estimate, assuming all your assumptions are accurate, of course. At this point, you should be seeing red, as in red flags. But why? Because if an SEO consultant can't tell you the estimated value of any keywords they are ranking, trying to rank, or want to rank for you, how can they even recommend to you which keywords to even rank for in the first place? Sure, there'll be some obvious keywords, but even so, how can an SEO consultant even begin to understand how to price their services if they don't even have a clue what your potential revenues might be if they get you ranked on page 1 of Google for your keywords? How could you determine your potential return on investment, your ROI, without this vital information? It's akin to flying blind, but it does not need to be that way. I use a software tool to estimate the value of ranking any competitive keyword on page 1 of Google. And I can run this calculation for virtually any scenario based on certain assumptions, including your own metrics if they're available, for the most accurate estimate. Estimating the value of ranking on page 1 of Google. A step-by-step calculation. Estimating the value of ranking on page 1 of Google. Now, while we do have an estimation software, let's do some quick but very important calculations that you've probably never seen before, but wished you had. To see how much in potential lost revenue you may have if your competitors are ranking on page 1 of Google and you're not. As an example, let's say you, in this case your competitors, have one keyword with monthly search volume of 1,000 unique visitors. That's one keyword with monthly search volume of 1,000 unique visitors as an example. Now, let's assume the following estimated monthly click distribution. Page 1 ranking. Position 1. The click-through rate is 32.5%, estimated 325 clicks. Position 2, 17.6%, 176 clicks. Position 3, 11.4%, 114 clicks. Position 4, 8.1%, 81 clicks. Position 5, 6.1%, 61 clicks. Now let's look at the estimated annualized click distribution. Position 1, 32.5%, 3,900 clicks. Position 2, 17.6%, 2,112 clicks. Position 3, 11.4%, 1,368 clicks. Position 4, 8.1%, 972 clicks. Position 5, 6.1%, 732 clicks. Estimated monthly qualified leads. We're using a 20% lead conversion assumption. Position 1, 325 clicks. 65 qualified leads are 20% of the estimated clicks. Position 2, 176 clicks. 35 qualified leads. Position 3, 114 clicks. 23 qualified leads. Position 4, 81 clicks, 16 qualified leads. Position 5, 61 clicks, 12 qualified leads. Let's look at the estimated annualized qualified leads. Position 1, 3,900 clicks, 780 qualified leads. Position 2, 2,112 clicks, 422 qualified leads. Position 3, 1,368 clicks, 274 qualified leads. Position 4, 972 clicks, 194 qualified leads. Position 5, 732 clicks, 146 qualified leads. Next, let's assume that a mere 10% of qualified leads retain one of your competitors for their goods or services versus yours. In other words, 10% of the qualified leads convert to a sale. Potential monthly sales generated. Position 1, 325 clicks, 65 qualified leads, 6.5 sales. Position 2, 176 clicks, 35 qualified leads, 3.5 sales. Position 3, 114 clicks, 23 qualified leads, 2.3 sales. Position 4, 81 clicks, 16 qualified leads, 1.6 sales. Position 5, 61 clicks, 12 qualified leads, 1.2 sales. Estimated annualized sales generated. Position 1, 3,900 clicks, 780 qualified leads, 78 sales. Position 2, 2,112 clicks, 422 leads, 42 sales. Position 3, 1,368 clicks, 274 qualified leads, 27 sales. Position 4, 972 clicks, 194 qualified leads, and 19 sales. Position 5, 732 clicks, 146 qualified leads, and 15 sales. Now, let's assume that you're a personal injury lawyer and that each new client or case is worth $50,000 for your competitor. Now, your lifetime value for a client may be higher or may be lower. But in this example, we're going to use the lifetime client value of a client for a personal injury lawyer. Potential monthly revenues generated. Position 1, 6.5 sales. Potential monthly revenue $325,000. Position 2, 3.5 sales. Potential monthly revenue $175,000. Position 3, 2.3 sales. Potential monthly revenue $115,000. Estimated annualized revenue generated assumes an average lifetime client value of $50,000 each. Position 1, 78 sales. Potential annual revenues $3,900,000. Position 2, 42 sales, $2,100,000. Position 3, 27 sales, potential annual revenue $1,350,000. Of course, to be fair, I must point out again that these preceding examples were only estimates potential sales and revenue numbers that are for informational purposes only. Even though they were only hypothetical figures, they are actually something much more than that. They reveal what is so very possible in terms of new sales and revenues generated online if and when you're ranking on the first page of Google. In our example, ranking first on page 1 of Google has the potential annual revenue value of $3,900,000. In our example, ranking last or 10th on page 1 of Google has the potential annual revenue value of $300,000. And that was only 10 keywords with some pretty easy assumptions. Just imagine what the potential value is for all of your keywords. Now let me take this thought process one step further. What if you had multiple page 1 rankings, like this example? 6 out of the 8 page 1 Google rankings for one of the most competitive keywords for a major U.S. city, including position 1 and position 2. Now that's what I call total market domination. So I ask you again, can you afford not to rank on the first page of Google? Now, the preceding calculations were based on certain assumptions and only an example of what is possible, and not a guarantee of any kind. However, the important takeaway for you is this. If you're not ranking on Google, you're not banking, and that you and your business are potentially losing out on substantial revenues just waiting for you to grab. After all, someone will be generating the online traffic, clicks, leads, phone calls, emails, sales, and revenues from ranking on page 1 of Google for your keywords. Maybe that someone, make that someone you, and for your business as soon as possible. Otherwise, your competitors will have the upper hand and your business will suffer. With the type of potential lost revenues you see are possible when you don't rank on page 1 of Google, I have to ask you, can you really afford not to rank on page 1 of Google? You and I, we both know the answer to that question, don't we? So, what should you do next? You have two choices. You can do nothing and leave the fate of your business to chance, or you can schedule a free, no obligation keyword valuation and analysis now. To find out the estimated value of your keywords if you were ranking on page 1 of Google instead of your competitors. Plus, I will provide you with a game plan for your keywords to show up on page 1 of Google. I'm looking for a few more qualified clients. The type of clients I work with are businesses who want to generate more online traffic, leads, qualified leads, phone calls, emails, sales, and revenues. Businesses who are ready to invest now, and businesses who do not pinch pennies or delay making key decisions. You need to pick a day and time for us to speak as soon as possible, as I work on an exclusive basis and my time and client roster space are very limited. And once my roster fills up, it can be up to several months before another slot becomes available. I'm available to speak to you 7 days a week. So go ahead and schedule your free, no obligation, keyword valuation and analysis now before your competitors do. You need to beat your competitors to the punch. Now, if you prefer to get started immediately and beat your competition, you may call me or email me at the information below. Phone number is 1-888-388-0546. And typically you will need to leave a message. The email is gharvey, GHARVEY, at resultcertainconsulting.com. Thank you for taking valuable time out of your day to watch this presentation. I look forward to speaking with you very soon. And that is about the end of the webinar. If you're ready to speak to me about your keyword valuation, analysis, and game plan, the information is below. Thank you very much for your time.